like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling fearless. Exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still. Hanging in the balance, not the life I want to live. I want to take it all, standing tall. Fear I weighed the person you are. Oh, break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.
All right, guys. What a day, what a day, what a day. What a day today. It's been pretty heavy in a good way. So I posted earlier, 5 hours ago, about being up, around almost 600,000 on the day. I was up to 458 on the main account. That has since changed. I'm up 494 just on the Tesla position in the main account. It's just insane. I think I'm up almost 600,000 on Tesla, at least 550. I did make a trade. I don't know that I'll show these in the future on here. It'll just be on X or it'll be on Discord for subscribers. But I did sell 2 contracts, so less than 1% of my position in Tesla. Probably like 0.8%, 0.7%, I think, something like that. So, or I'm sorry, no, 0.4%. 0.4% of my position today. Because I have like 230 shares and I sold, or contracts, and I sold 2. Maybe 0.6. Whatever. Fuck. You know what I mean. Anyway, my math isn't too good right now. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. But it's been a pretty amazing day. Very excited about it. So today, what do we have to celebrate today, guys? What do we have to celebrate? Let's talk about it. We got Tesla up 21.5% today. Basically a rocket ship to the moon. I haven't seen a 83.54 on the RSI in a long time. It should be topping out here over the short term, but can it do amazing things? And I'm sorry, that's on the daily, but let's move out. There's a lot to talk about here. So Tesla can do insane moves. I want to reiterate that. We actually got up to, what was it over here in 2020? It's kind of hard to see, 95 on the RSI for the weekly time frame. We're at 61. 61. So much money is going to be made. We're literally right now, guys, we're completing something that's kind of interesting. It's like a double shoulder, inverse head and shoulders. So left shoulder, head, right shoulder, launch. The launch of the measured move is $500 a share. I expect that maybe by the middle of next year to Q3, maybe sooner. I don't know anymore. I really don't know anymore. Tesla Bethy says, it's my anniversary, 37 years. My Tesla position is up huge. What an anniversary present. That makes me happy. You guys got to do something nice, right? You got to do something nice. You got to enjoy each other's company. Have a nice dinner out in the town or something. Have some fun. Celebrate that moment for sure. But I digress. If Tesla was the only thing to talk about, that would be wonderful in and of itself. The 600,000 I've made off of Tesla alone would be enough. That would be enough. But it's not the only thing that's happening today. Oh, that was the wrong one. Because we got Bitcoin. Oh, did I overwrite my Bitcoin? 1 second. Let me fix this, guys. Not the dollar. The Bitcoins. I got to find the Coinbase version of this. All right, there we go. I think that's it. Ah, beautiful, right? All right, let me save that. So, what did we talk about earlier in the day? We talked about wanting, ideally, to after bouncing off the fib and getting above the weekly, where we can see the candle bodies, to get above the daily. And we've done that, actually. We've done that. We're above it right now. And we could close. We'll see if it closes there by 7. But Bitcoin looks ready to launch. Oh, what? It still didn't update? Son of a bitch. It says it should have updated on X. I'll try and figure out what's going on. It literally, in Restream, it shows it as... Oh, it does say the best stock market open ever. Fuck, I swear to God, I updated it. I could do that in a second. But yeah, and it's not even just Bitcoins, okay? I'll get in there and try and update the title. But there's more. Because MicroStrategy, closely affiliated with Bitcoin. Ooh, whoever just gave memberships, I will look at that in a second. Thank you very much. But MicroStrategy's up 7.5% today. So anybody who got into the MSTU or MSTX trade, I'm sorry, 8% on the day, because it's just still going up, can expect 280 in the next couple of weeks. So if you like 280, that's what you're going to be getting. It's coming really soon. And if that was all that happened today, that would be enough. But no, we got SoFi going up 5% on the day, actually much higher in the day earlier. Kind of taking a breather, probably going to gap fill over here, but look at where this thing was, guys. $11.31. We basically got right up to where I was saying was our next resistance point. Creating a little bit of bearish divergence down here on the daily time frame. It could keep going higher, but probably gap fill that at some point. But that's pretty good too, right? That's pretty good too. But no, not even just that. We also have Solana going up on the day. And I'll rename the stream. I'll try and do that in a second. I've got a video I want to watch for Tesla. Actually, a bunch of videos for Tesla. So I'll fix those. But Solana up almost 4%, getting close to its breakout. Could that happen over the weekend? Definitely possible. And not even just that. Like, that would be enough. That would be enough for the day to be good. But no, we're actually starting to break down and maybe set ourselves up tomorrow to have the dollar break down underneath of this resistance line on the weekly time frame, where we want to see it get rejected and where the markets can go much higher. That would be enough right there. But then at the same time, we have oil dropping, just like we talked about it doing. And then there's everything else. Because this isn't the only stuff going up. But look at this, 21.64 on Tesla, 17.25 on MSTU, 14.43 on MSTX. Iron was up 4%, SoFi up 4.85. Let me sort by percentages again because there's so much going on here. MicroStrategy is still climbing into the close because we're not closed yet. We've still got 35 minutes. It's just all going up, guys. Even ARGT is up 3% today. I did buy some of that. So again, I sold a couple of those contracts and I put like 10 grand, a little over, into ARGT, just trying to build that position. Need to build my Micron position too. Got a lot of stuff to build. A lot of building happening right now. Poor PayPal pumps 2% and gets obliterated by the other investments. You know what? You know why it's not poor PayPal though? Do you know why it's not poor PayPal? And today it's only up 0.74%, right? So it's pretty weak, right? 0.4 or 0.74%. That's like nothing, dude. Nothing even interesting on PayPal, right? But if you're in the options contracts I'm in, the 2025's probably toast. Don't care. If you're in these contracts right here, they're up 4% today on a 0.74% move. So you're getting a 5-6x the underlying. So even PayPal didn't do bad today. But PayPal has earnings next week. And I think they're going to be great. I don't think they're going to be Tesla great because that's a high bar. But I think they're going to be great. I think SoFi is going to be great. Let's talk about earnings. You guys talked me into it. Let's go over here to the calendar real quick. Look at the weekly time frame. Maybe set this to favorites. Thank you, Alejandro, for building all this too and just continually working on it. We appreciate you, brother. So next week we got PayPal and SoFi on Tuesday. Tanner does SoFi. I do PayPal. PayPal's my baby. Amit might do PayPal too. Maybe we'll do something together. I don't know. I kind of like doing my own thing. Then on Wednesday, we got Coinbase and Robinhood. I'm doing the hood. MicroStrategy's boring. Riot, I don't really care. Coinbase, I don't really care. I'm going to do Robinhood. I'm going to do whatever I want. Then Thursday, I don't know, man. This is tough. Apple or Amazon or Cypher. I don't know. I'll let you guys vote on that. Let's put this into a vote. Well, Thursday we can do whatever. I don't give a shit. Just one second here. Let me just... On Thursday, what should I cover? Apple, Amazon, or Cypher mining. All right, that's a poll. It's out there. So you guys let me know what you want to do. Let me know. I saw a video about Enphase. It was interesting. Made me think. I've got to do some more stewing on that, but we probably need to have a conversation about Enphase and my thoughts on it. If you had a cash position to invest, what proxy or stock call option would you... If I wasn't doing options today, I'd probably do like a Bitcoin miner like CleanSpark. Iron was up 5%. Probably CleanSpark. Yeah, that's probably what I'd do. Maybe a little BITF too. It's a smaller miner. If I was doing options, I don't know. My PayPal ones are up 112%. I feel like that's too much. But they're still pretty good too. ARKG is probably going to look good in the future. And again, there's slower ones like ARGT and MU and stuff that I'm still looking to acquire. Rumi, just joining. Jesse, are you up $500,000 today yet? I'm up over $500,000 in Tesla. I've made almost $600,000 in Tesla today. So it's been a good day. My main account, which makes up a decent amount of my portfolio, let me just pop it over here, is doing all right. It's up $545,000, and the Tesla portion of that is 516. It says right here. So I guess I'm only up 560,000 on Tesla today. But I don't know. I've had worse days, bro. I'm not going to complain. You know what I mean? And again, if you guys want to get posts that are exclusive and timely, definitely subscribe to X. That's the best source for it, for posts. But trades also, when I'm done with X, I'm updating trades, portfolio allocation, and then you get all the charts in Discord. You get the community. You get a bunch of other people that we're getting a really good community. You guys are awesome. And it's getting better by the day. And they're putting a bunch of research in here too for different investments all the time. Like, look at this. We got a conversation with BD and Musk Melon talking about Micron. I'm sure if I jump down, let's see here, we'll just randomly pick stuff. There's probably somebody talking about SoFi. Yep. We probably have some people talking about, oh, yeah, totally. We got some clean sparks, I think, up in here. I know this because there's one person in here that would make sure that this is the case. I know if I go in here to render, that there's going to be one repeat offender, and his name is going to be the Render OG, who loves this and who's posted all kinds of good stuff. I've posted a few of the videos that he had in here too. It's good content, guys. I'm actually incredibly interested in Render. Once I found out kind of who these people are, you hear about all this talk and bullshit about cryptos and like who's with them, but there's some serious backers on this thing. So I'm fascinated by it. So yeah, that's an interesting one. But you know what? Let's talk Tesla today, shall we? Let's see. Earlier in the week, you said that pulling out of MSTR was a good idea as its multiple was too high. That was last week. You need to keep up. And then go to the miner and like CLSK. Are you saying that? No, man. I said afterwards. I called the bottom on MicroStrategy too. Can somebody attest to that, please? I said that it was too high when it was like at 2.79 for the X multiplier. And then after we dropped, I said it was a good place to buy it. I said this both in the morning stream and in the night stream, and then I think I said it again the next day. So if you guys are going to be people who jump in and out of stuff, and you should listen more, be more attentive to each one of these sessions. Otherwise, don't jump in and out if you're not going to be able to do that. So I said when it was down here that it was a good buy zone again, and somebody should pick up MSTU and MSTX. So people did, some didn't. So that's totally up to you guys. But definitely, if you're gonna go in and out, just make sure you're paying attention and you're around. Yeah, that's okay, dude. It happens. But yeah, it's one of those things where these things can change very quickly. Again, we dumped. So we went from I was telling around 228. I was telling people 227. I was telling people that it was rich, and then it dropped all the way down to 185. So it changed pretty substantially. Thanks, Jesse. That was my first call out on YouTube stream. Oh, awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Bethy. This day gets better and better. Thank you for all you do. Between you and Invest Answers, I'm not sure who is my favorite. My favorite is going to be Invest Answers. James is a badass. He works harder than I do. He's a good guy. He's a real good guy. I've gotten a lot of inspiration from him, honestly. Master the game. You said it was a high multiplier, which is great for short-term trades. I'm staying long MSTR and don't jump in or out often. That's probably smart. Again, though, when it gets to that, and this is, I think we have this in the Discord, guys. This tracker right here that shows. So let's just jump back up. Let's look over here. I know we have this somewhere. So if you go over here, MicroStrategy, you can click on the Discord, and I've got to add more of these, admittedly. There are a couple things. Oh, and do I have my tracker? I don't even know if I have my tracker. There's another tracker in here. Let me see. Let me go back. Oh, it's saying leaving Discord. Okay. Is this the same one? Yeah, no, it's the same one. Okay. So we have the MicroStrategy tracker in here. And it looks like JD pinned it. I forget how many administrators we have now in here. Anyway, but you can see the chart for MicroStrategy where I show the targets as far as like trend-based fib extensions. You can see everybody's dialogue going back and forth. Pretty active conversations. This is just today, guys. So it's not just me doing this stuff anymore. Get in the Discord if you're not. It's well worth it. And but you can see the tracker up here from JD2. And when we look at the tracker, you can see that when it gets really overvalued, it becomes dangerous. Now today, it's already screaming pretty high. It's at a 2.75 for the NAB premium. I was actually talking to Invest Answers earlier in the day. He had a really great post. I don't remember if I saved it in here or not. Let me just check real quick and see if I did. It's a members only on his side, guys. So definitely subscribe to him if you want to see this stuff in the future. I won't be showing it a lot because I have a lot of respect for his proprietary information, and I just don't want to do him like that. But let me see if I have it in here. Oh, you know what? It's probably under his profile. I'll find him real quick. But it shows he doesn't even go past. Oh, I should put the right things in. Invest Answers. Yeah, there's my boy. A lot of fakes out there. Only one real one. But if you go under his subs, he had this, which I thought was beautiful. So he shows kind of what his price targets are for different levels, and he talks about like everything, like intrinsic value, total theoretical value, actual intrinsic value, SANS, BTC, ARB, opportunity, look for negative value, total value, theoretical share prices given different Bitcoin targets. He only has a 2.5 NAV premium, right? He's only going, I told him maybe we want to do 3 because we're already in overpriced again at like 2.75. Look at this. But again, you can see this stuff in the Discord. You should join his too. He's great. Justin, Meet Kevin is probably long Neo. I hope that's not true. Hope that's just a joke. Let's see here. Chicken Bro, imagine having millions in cash and seeing Tesla and all the market flying high. It's not easy to be Meet Kevin. And is he in a lot of cash right now? Poor fucker. See, this is why you don't pay somebody $2,700 for a course on investing when you have me and you can pay me nothing. Or if you want really timely information of all my trades, you could get crazy up in here and you could pay $5 on X and you could pay $5 on Discord. Did you just gift 50 memberships, Matej? Thank you, bro. You guys are great. Anybody here right now, you're getting a bunch of free memberships from great members in this group and community. So be happy. So now you can comment and chat. That gives you the ability when I have extra time, which I'll try and do more of, to be able to ask me to look at stocks. I usually save that for the end. We're going to cover Tesla stuff real quick, though, today. I've got a few other things to cover for news events. We're going to go really fast. I say by 3:30 we'll be looking at stocks, and then before 4 we'll be done. But thank you so much for gifting those, man. That's awesome. It's really cool. Everybody that's popping in here all of a sudden is just getting a membership. You're a badass, sir. I really appreciate you. Oh, and I missed one earlier. There's 20 earlier. You guys, from Manny247. Thank you, Manny. You guys are great. I really appreciate you guys. We're drifting near 3,000 members now when I add up X, the Discord, and YouTube. And that is just mind-boggling. I don't even have 17,000 members on YouTube. So to have 3,000 members across all of these platforms is just insane. I haven't said this already, but we do have, the wife has started on the merchant store. So we'll see how quickly we can turn that around. But you guys will, Tom Nash was gifted a membership. Awesome. There you go, Tom. You're probably rich enough to be paying for one though, bro. I'm just saying. Tom's a good guy. We love him. But yeah, so we'll have a merchandise store coming here soon. We'll show you guys some of the merchandise, some of my thoughts. If you guys have ideas for things you want to, probably doing mugs, shirts, hoodies. And I don't know what else, but we'll do that stuff for sure. And then maybe we'll do some other fun stuff too. I really like Mitch Ray, and I also like Solving the Money Problem. I think they've both done a really great job with their merch stores. Also, for at least 90 days, we'll be giving it away at cost, essentially. So, I might just do that. It might be a year. I'm not going to lie. I don't really care to make money off of it, but I want to go to the premium merch place because I want the clothes to feel really comfy. And I figure the free advertising is probably good enough. Caps. I like that. Cap, t-shirt, pen, cup. Yeah, that's smart, Dario. We'll do that. So we'll have some fun with it, though. I know a bunch of people have requested merch, and so we're going to try and have a good time with it. Without further ado, let's talk about the rest of the markets today, shall we? So let's look at the CNN Fear and Greed Index and see what's going on. We've got greed at 64. So if you can imagine this today, guys, greed has went down. We were at 70 2 days ago. We're 64 today. Hallelujah. That's some good stuff. And then when we look at the Crypto Fear and Greed Index and click past this ad, I need to get my ad blocker up. I got a new ad blocker. It comes with Surfshark. I might partner with them and do like a quick little advertising thing in the middle. You get no other ads otherwise, but like a little blurb for like 30 seconds. I don't know. I'm still deciding. I only want to support the things I'm going to do. So like Descript and Surfshark, 2 things I actually use. So that'll always be my promise to you. Fear and Greed on crypto, 69. 69. What a beautiful number. This is good times. So this is crazy, right? So if we just put this in perspective, guys, we are sucking on the S&P right now after dropping down. I'm up over $600,000 today. Not $700,000, but probably close, right? Yeah, there were 70 memberships given away between Manny and Matej. Am I saying that right? Yeah, Matej. Hopefully I'm getting that right. So a lot of generous people in chat today. So yeah, make sure you thank them, guys. So the market is basically flat today. And I didn't make $1 million, but I mean, it's close, right? I can't hate it. Why am I doing this? Let's do it the easy way. And then we look at the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ, the best performing indice, right? Actually, that's just out of the top 3. I didn't really pay attention to the rest. Whatever. NASDAQ up 0.85%. That's pretty sweet, but not crazy. And then the small caps, the RUT, the 2000, only up 0.16. So today is a flat day, guys. How do you feel about a flat day? Do you guys feel like flat days aren't too bad? Does anybody like flat days? I do. At least this one. And we're going to have a lot more like this, and we're going to talk about why that is in a little bit here. Lots to cover. Trying to think of where to go next. Yeah, you know what? We'll just jump into it. Let's have some fun. I wish every day was flat. Hell yeah. It's even sweeter, guys, to have the market be flat on the day and the NASDAQ just outperforming. The only reason the NASDAQ's outperforming, guess what? Guess why? It's this company. I don't know if you guys have heard about them. It's a company called Tesla. And there's this guy, Elon Musk. And he's brilliant. And a lot of people doubt him. And that comes in waves, right? A lot of people doubt him. That comes in waves. But I don't. I never do. I never do. And I don't know why others do. But we're getting ready for a melt-up. Let's let Roland explain some of this for us. So, Roland, what do you have to say? Well, over the last 5 years, Q4 has always been better than Q3 for Tesla in terms of earnings per share. So look at how much we climbed today in a flat market. In the world right now, there's articles from Barron's Magazine talking about how Tesla isn't a car company, how they're showing you the future. And now we're talking about flying cars. You heard me, right? Flying cars. It's pretty remarkable. Let's listen to what Jeff Lutz has to say here. And I want to, you know what, we're going to skip Jeff for a second. We're going to go over here. We're just going to play this out. It's got to be a quicker way to do that.
The rate of improvement in CSLA. FSD disengagement ratio is stunning. It's proof that scaling laws apply to self-driving and real-world AI. Piecing together the progress.
So we talked about this a little bit yesterday in the earnings report, but I thought this was a much better visual of the FSD rate of improvement and disengagement ratio, okay? So look at the leaps that we're taking. Here's where we are. This is us down here. That second bar. This is where we're going. In a week, this is where we'll be in Q2 of 2025. This is where a human driver is. So did I just tell you that Tesla is going to be better than a human driver by the end of Q2 of 2025 with version 14? Maybe it's Q3. I don't care. Full autonomy is right in front of us. It's right here. And it's not just vehicles. It's not just every vehicle on the planet being run by Tesla. It's not just that. Now he wants flying cars. We got the semi-factory getting built out. We got energy margins exploding. Exploding. And we've got a robot that's coming this next year. I don't know what to say, guys. I don't know what to say. Lots of money going to be made, man. Matej has been a member for 7 months. You are badass. You're up over $100,000 today on Tesla stock. You are welcome. Whatever role I played in that, man, I'm just happy to be of service. You're very welcome. And let's listen to Jeff, too, because I love Jeff. I love Jeff. I love Herbert. I love Boomer Mama. I love everybody in the Tesla community. These are some of the best people on the planet. And I love Tom Nash, too. I love all you guys, man. This is a real awesome group of people.
For the first time, Tesla provided dots and arrears to connect regarding their AI performance improvement. This is really important and forms an informed basis for future predictions. Reminder, Tesla has the full fleet data, which is far greater than a low sample crowdsourced tracker.
So that's cool, right? We got a good video coming too, guys. That's cool. But we got Dan Ives saying Tesla is the most undervalued AI play. Everybody was talking about fucking PE ratios yesterday. Sorry, I'm trying to get worse or better at the cussing, but I digress sometimes. I get a little excited. I want to be more professional if I can be. I mean, at least in front of the camera. But, yeah, he's right. And it's going to get... We got to a PE ratio of 1,400 before. We were only 71 yesterday. We can get a lot more overvalued or undervalued. A lot more. Thoughts on Enphase? I'll probably talk about Enphase tomorrow. I do have thoughts that I want to talk about. I've got concerns. I'm not sure if it's a good investment yet. Heinz, whoa, brother. Thank you for the $50. That is an awesome emote we have going on. Thank you, sir. Thank you all very much. All right, so we got analysts chasing. We got analysts chasing, guys. Maybe we should listen to what they have to say.
Raised your price target on Tesla. You were at $254. You're now at $278. What was the catalyst? What did you see and hear that made you want to move your price target higher?
A lot.
It was a few things. First, the margins were exceptional. And if you recall, over the last several quarters, Tesla's auto gross margins have come down because they needed to cut price based on weakening global auto sales because rates went up. But now they had an incredible quarter from a margin perspective, much better than
My Tesla screen isn't right. I'll try and fix that.
anyone thought, because the costs of production came down to levels they've never before seen. That was the first thing. The next couple things were, despite skepticism, they reaffirmed that they would be launching some lower cost models in the first half of next year. And as you played, Elon Musk said they would grow sales probably 20 to 30% next year. What that means, what's very, very important for Tesla stock, is that the revenue and earnings growth are going to reaccelerate. And if you follow the growth rates in revenue, that stock very closely follows them. So if we see that reacceleration, which we saw since the first quarter, we're going to see Tesla stock continue to outperform.
I want to go to margin. This is a company that trades on margin. Even though it's a tech company, it kind of trades on margin like an auto company may. Minus those credits.
Really? Really? Do you know auto companies that have over 30% margins? Can you tell me which auto company has that for energy? For their energy division? Can you tell me what auto company has robotics on their platform? Has full self-driving vehicles that are going to explode in revenue? My geriatric dog is coming in here. I'm gonna let this play, and I'm gonna put the gate up so she doesn't bother me. 1 second. She's got like pee pads all over my house. It all smells like piss. It's horrible, but I love her. Susan, should have known she would not be undone. Thank you for the $50. Sorry, Jesse, this one's not for you, but for the wifey, for admin wife. Okay, I'll tell her. She'll be happy. You mentioned before she helps out behind the scenes. She does. She helps out a decent amount in Discord. She probably spends more time in it than I do. I'm going to play this out, though, guys. Thank you so much, Susan. I will pass it on to her. I'm going to just go to full screen just for a second here to get this dog out of my way. 1 sec.
It beat margin by quite a bit. The estimate was 16.3. The actual was over 17%. What does that tell you about this company going forward? Does that also settle some of these thoughts that Elon Musk is distracted? We've seen him on the campaign trail. He has other enterprises.
What a piece of trash. Listen to this loser. Listen to this loser. Continue with the same bullshit diatribe.
Does this settle this in the mind of investors, at least in the near term?
At least in the near term. What the company has said, what Elon Musk has said consistently, is that
Susan,
their competitive advantage will be manufacturing, the machines that build the machine. And they continue to show time and time again that they're able to lower the costs of production and be the only or one of the only companies in the world that can make money in electric vehicles. So this is a consistent story behind Tesla. Their cars are great, but what they really have mastered is the ability to make them. And that showed up last quarter.
It's not even about the cars, you moron. What is your price target, you idiot? 1 second. I'm going to speed this moron up. We'll look at his price target in a second.
Let's talk about the broader sector right now on two different angles here. Number one, EV
This guy's still talking about cars.
stocks, they're up right now. We're saying Lucid's up, Rivian's up, the Chinese EV makers, they're also up at the same.
Don't even get Tesla out of your mouth, man. Don't compare them to Rivian. Don't compare them to Chinese EVs. Elon Musk let you know yesterday that Tesla is the only profitable EV company on the planet. So don't bring up their names like they're comparable.
Same time, we're seeing Lyft and Uber down. I believe that's tied to some of the robotaxi announcements they made during the call. Just kind of give us some color on both of those, how you see Tesla influencing both the EV market and also the ride-hailing market.
Sure. So over the last several quarters, people have been concerned that the EV market has slowed down, and that's fair because it has. But we actually put out a couple of interesting notes about what's happening in China. In China, ICE vehicles, traditional internal combustion engine vehicles, those sales have collapsed in 2024, and EVs are actually doing well. We think that's a sign of things to come for the Western.
And Tesla is the best. And there's this thing called autonomy. Did anybody tell this dipshit about autonomy?
World as EVs continually proliferate. So that's the first thing. The second thing on autonomy, look, we're massive believers in autonomy. We think the future of mobility is autonomous. We agree with Elon Musk. We disagree.
All right. Sorry for calling you a dipshit. Wait, you said disagree. Let's see. He might still be one.
Agree with some of his timelines. So he was out there yesterday reaffirming that the Cybercab will begin production in 2026 and traditional Tesla vehicles will be able to operate autonomously starting next year. That's put pressure on some of the ride-hailing stocks. But we're big believers in both electrification and autonomy, and those are the two areas where Tesla.
Oh, well, that's a weird place to cut that. Sawyer, you got to work on your stuff, bro. Let's listen to another one. Do a better job this time,
What's your
Sawyer.
price target on Tesla?
All right, one sec. I do want to see something. I want to see if he has a price target. Oh, come on, bro. You got to show the actual price target. Sawyer, pick up your game, man. You're normally so good. All right, let's go back. So he's got another one here. Let's see if he's got a price target in here. I actually like the dude on the right. I can't remember if the guy in the middle is an idiot. We'll find out. There's this one moron. I can't remember what his name is, but he's not Gordon Johnson, but he's pretty stupid. He was talking last night after the earnings, and he looked like he was sweating. He looked like he was going to puke because he was trying to tell you why Tesla sucks, and he just looked like he was going to vomit. I was trying to find that video. If I can find it, I'll let you know.
Believe it or not, the 17.1% gross margin ex credit was a strong beat. I do think if you take out those FSD deferred revenue piece, you still come out with a very strong gross profit margin ex credit. And that comes with all those price cutting. So exactly that is why we actually think that the automotive performance was actually pretty healthy. They were able to do it with substantial price cutting. Look at the other OEMs, the legacy OEMs, what's been happening to their margins with price cutting. And I actually think the setup for next year on growth, I agree with Colin. It's not going to be 20, 30% that maybe Elon is saying, but we have a 13% growth rate, which is actually where
That's incredibly low. He's completely wrong.
consensus is. There is growth rate, and if they can do it with the margin strength that they have, now folks can stop thinking about the automotive piece and margins and start looking at what really should drive the stock, right? Which is non-automotive things, energy storage, autonomy, potentially Optimus. But now I think it's more of the distraction that was this automotive piece. Now folks can turn their attention to things that actually drive the stock price and the market capitalization to where it is.
Well, Colin.
That was kind of a stupid take, too. God, these people just miss it all. I just can't believe how much people miss it. So, KGI Securities upgrades Tesla stock to outperform with a 276 price target. That's too low. They'll chase. That's okay, though. Hey, CERN Basher. I love it. You know what I think of? I think of a Hadron Collider every time I listen to CERN Basher. I don't know if it's because of his name or what. But he's pretty cool. You should follow him. He's pretty smart. Let's listen to what he has to say here.
Tesla's regulatory credits means factories are built by your competition. While many analysts tend to minimize the revenue generated by zero-emission vehicle ZEV regulatory credits received by Tesla from other automakers, it is important to consider the significance of this income.
So look at this, guys. Look at the regulatory credits and how they're growing. They're growing. They're growing. Somebody had an idea today, guys, that blew my mind. We're going to see something about it in a video that we'll be playing later on. It's in regard to Tesla. It's in regard to Trump. And it just blew my mind to think about it because I think it's 100% right. We'll be watching that shortly after this. But these regulatory credits aren't inconsequential either. The sheer amount of cash that Tesla has is mind-boggling. Let's just look at some slides here from CERN. Tesla capture expenditures since Q3 of 2018. Tesla funded versus competitor funded. So competitor funded, they've given them almost $10 billion. But Tesla's funded almost $27 billion. Thank you, competition, for paying for the future of technology and your own demise. Capital expenditures since Q3 of 2018, Tesla funded versus competitor funded via zero emission vehicle regulatory credits. So again, just another way to look at it with capital expenditures, pretty cool. And then cumulative capital expenditures in the millions. Again, these numbers aren't getting smaller. So all fascinating stuff, fascinating view into the world. Let's look at Norway. Norway is actually doing better than it ever has. Huh, that's exciting. And again, there's a bunch more, guys. This stuff's boring. I'm bored with it. We're going to move on, actually. We got some other stuff to talk about. We're going to pull over a video. Just give me 1 second here. Should have had this up. I apologize for wasting your time. I will pull up a video that I was watching earlier today from some guys that I really love. They're called Now You Know. And there's some OGs.
Hey, everybody. I'm Zach. And
I love them. And I want to represent them on here. So they're going to have a quick conversation. We're probably going to do it a little bit faster here for the sake of time. We're going to do it at 1.25x. But they're going to talk about Tesla. And they always have really unique perspectives. And I love them. It's a father-son. That's Nathan. That's Zach. And we're going to listen to them. And I'm going to interject my own thoughts here in a second, okay?
I'm Jesse. You're watching the Tesla Q3 2024 earnings call next on...
All right, so somebody real quick, Alexander said, "Hey, Jesse, I sold all my Leaps today for $5,000 in gains," assuming you're talking about Tesla, just waiting on a pullback now and have no exposure to them. I sold 0.5% of mine, so I don't know what to give for advice. I personally wouldn't be out, and I hope you get a pullback. You could. I mean, the options today, I'm not going to lie, they were up 83%. And you have till 2026 for Tesla to hit $330. So, but they can go up a lot more. So my fear is that you might end up missing out and it might continue to run without you. So I don't know. Worst case, man, I would think about at least owning the stock, right? The options, if they're up 83%, you could put that money into the stock now and you could feel safer knowing that you've removed a multiplier that was amazing. It did 4x today, the underlying asset. 4x. That's not a bad number. You should be proud of that number. But I would at least own Tesla stock here. Because, again, you've already made 4x the multiple, the upside. At least then if you own the stock, and I'm sorry, it's Jesse. He's got my name. That's funny. Nathan's my brother. Sorry. But 4x is a great number, and at least if you own the stock, you won't feel bad, okay? So that's my thought process. You do you. All right, let's listen to these guys.
In depth.
I think that this is the first earnings call where it's kind of come out that Elon doesn't really want to be running a regular car company anymore.
I think you're right.
Look, Tesla is going to start selling autonomous cars.
Whether you like it or not.
They're already selling autonomous cars or cars that will be capable of autonomy, but someday they're going to make autonomous cars. I shouldn't say sell because they might not sell them to anybody.
That's true. And he did give an update that we're going to talk about in a few minutes about when.
They're going to talk further into that, guys. It is fascinating. It's a fascinating thesis on Tesla that you need to hear.
That's going to happen of when the cars are what he thinks are going to be fully autonomous. But you're right. It's kind of like when you go to school and you do book reports for years, right? And after you get out of school, it's the last thing you want to talk about is, right, hey, want to write a book report? You've learned the skills in school on how to write your own book, and you're excited about writing your own book about life, not just doing book reports. And I think Elon's tired of producing regular cars. If he's going to make a regular car again, it's going to be the Roadster. Otherwise, he wants to be talking about autonomous cars entirely. And so this kind of leads me to that question that we saw from Say, and these are like the top 10 Say questions. And the number 2 question was, when can we expect Tesla to give us the $25,000 non-robotaxi regular car model? And he said,
we're not making a non-robotaxi model.
The future is autonomous. He said, my strong belief is that this will be obvious in retrospect. The future is autonomous vehicles. And so just like horses are unusual today, you don't generally see them walking around, that'll be the same thing with non-autonomous cars. He thinks it's blindingly obvious. And he said, basically, to be clear, there will be no cybercab that has a steering wheel and pedals. So if you had that stuck in your head, well, I'll just wait for that car. No, there is no Model 2 like in the traditional Model 3 sense.
It's dead.
It's dead.
There is no Dana. There is only a zoo.
If you want that car, it's a Model 3.
And this is exactly what we're talking about here. I think that this is like people asking Steve Jobs, oh, what kind of keyboard are you going to have on your iPhone?
And that's me, honestly. I thought that all smartphones in the future would look like Blackberries, and I was wrong.
And hardly anyone could predict that we would have smartphones that look the way that they do, because
How do you get the data in without a keyboard?
Right. And it's like, but it won't feel like this, and it won't do this, and it won't do that, and blah, 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 blah. It'll get dirty, blah, blah, blah. Has it ever come up that you've ever gone like, oh, I need a keyboard? No, not really. We've all adopted the smartphone without a keyboard.
Well, and here's the other part. When you answer some of these questions, when he gets deep into it, I know that it seems like he's gone off topic, but I want you to pay attention here. He said the hardest part about Tesla is that you'd have to copy the factory. You know, you're not just copying the car. Like the Cybercab, the hard part about the Cybercab is also the production of it is going to be so much faster. And basically he said it's going to be half an order of magnitude better than other car lines. Half an order of magnitude, so 5 times better. So if you were tasked with that today at VW or Ford to make your car lines 5 times faster
5 times faster. Wrap your head around that.
or better or cheaper, you couldn't do it.
And another point in this call said that basically there are no profitable EV companies besides Tesla.
Not even any profitable.
Silas said he'd prefer EV or Rivian to succeed, but it's not going to change because of that. EVs are a weird mix between legacy failing to transition, Tesla, BYD, and the multitude of PRC manufacturers that will fail. So yeah, everybody will fail outside of Tesla is my prediction, like 99% of them, right? BYD will probably, it's kind of a staple for the Chinese government, so they'll keep funding that one for a while. They'll probably let the vast majority die. NIO's going to die. Rivian's going to die most likely, unless the government comes in and tries to help. So there's a lot of change coming in the EV sector that I don't think people are realizing. And we're talking about making lines 5 times faster. And to be clear, the Cybertruck, guys, is the only EV truck that is profitable. And they did it in 3 quarters. Rivian's been working on this for over a half a decade.
EV lines or departments. So if you think of, the Model E over at Ford, they can't do it profitably. I mean, I just want to mention that if you look at the stats, I believe the average that Tesla is making per car is $8,600. Think about any other electric car that you see on the road, they're very likely losing money on that car. Mm-hmm. That's absolutely incredible.
I know that normally we're talking about like, oh, let's talk about their profit numbers. Let's talk. It doesn't matter anymore. Okay.
It really doesn't.
Tesla at this point in time is simply a launch pad.
I think Hood, SoFi, PayPal are all going to have amazing earnings, and I'm ready for it.
For the next part of their company. And you might be going like, what? I care so much about the numbers and I care about the... Stop thinking that way. Tesla has built themselves a nice launching platform to make autonomous electric vehicles. And Tesla has done this before. Okay, if you're like, what? Tesla's no longer this sort of company and they're changing? The Model S was never going to revolutionize electric transportation. If all Tesla sold was Model S's and Model X's, the world of electric mobility would remain roughly the same as it did back in 2010.
Just like Lucid and Rivian today.
It wasn't going to make the big dent. The big dent came from the Model 3 and the Model Y. And the Model 3 and the Model Y could not have happened unless the Model S and the Model X were successful and created a small platform for Tesla to build and then create the Model 3 and then the Model Y. What the Model 3 and the Model Y have done has created a very nice, stable launching pad for Tesla to spend an ungodly amount of money on figuring out how to make autonomous vehicles possible. Now that they have done that, and they are very close, it seems that they are very close. I have a car that can drive me around, and most of the time, I don't have to do anything. That hasn't happened before in history. No other car company has done this. Even companies that are supposedly fully
Just never before in history.
autonomous, they don't have the ability, even if they are successful, to do what Tesla's going to do, and that is to make the cars cheaper. So there's so many different aspects all coming together. I just want to show you this chart. This is what Tesla is spending money on.
Yeah, this is annual research and development going back to 2013.
And normally all we talk about with Tesla is what they are earning. What's the revenue? What's the profit? This is what they have been spending. And so take a look at that yellow part of the bar. That is research and development. Now that has been a big chunk of what Tesla has been spending money on this whole time, but look how big it is now.
Yeah, that's just the first 3 quarters of 2024 at the very last column there. What are they spending?
They are spending $4.36 billion.
Just
Holy
this year
Kyle.
so far.
Just in the last 3 quarters. That is more than what they spent in 2019. That is more than what they spent in 2018, just overall. That is the most insane part of this to me, and the part that everyone's going to miss, because everyone's going to go, well, of course costs are going to go up. That's their research and development. It has been scaling as the company has been growing. That's the crazy part, and that's the part that everyone's going to miss because they don't understand how clusters work. There were 2 analysts on this call. One of them was Pierre Ferragu from New Street Research, and he asked about Tesla's data cluster, and he didn't know what he was talking about, and Elon had to school him on it. Nobody understands what is going on at Tesla when it comes to full self-driving.
Yeah, it's not an LLM.
It's not OpenAI. You can't compare it to OpenAI, but that's all.
Hey guys, make sure you follow Now You Know. I love these guys. They're really brilliant. You could see their legends. They've got like the Tesla Thor hammer up here. They've got the flamethrower. They've got all the Tesla and SpaceX stuff. They're OGs in this space, and they're brilliant. So make sure you follow them. They're very beneficial. And thank you, Kyle. That was a huge tip, dude. I appreciate all of you guys. You guys are freaking awesome.
That's all we know about. That's all that the analysts even can think about. And that was like a forward-reaching question for him. They don't know any of this stuff. And that's the crazy part.
You know what's interesting is one of their biggest constraints right now is that the cars don't up enough for them to get data. So actually,
Yeah, right,
that's
MB.
their biggest weak point, is that the cars are so good now driving on their own that they have to wait miles and miles for a car to screw up so that they can go, oh, that's not how it should work.
And then fix that point. And then once they fix that, then the car has to go even further. And so they're no longer compute constrained. That usually was the problem, is they had all these miles of data and all of these mistakes that the cars were making, and you had to tell a computer, hey, this was a mistake, you should have done this. Here's a mistake, you should have done this. Now we're getting further and further. That's telling you that we're actually getting to the point where these cars are going to be able to autonomously drive.
One of the things
And you guys saw the projection. By the middle of next year, these cars will be better than human beings.
that came out during the call was that Tesla's already basically doing a ride-sharing program in the Bay Area. So they're just letting Tesla employees use it, but they're testing it. They're getting the app right. They're getting everything right. They've been doing it all year. So they are really ready for when next year happens. And it sounds like they're looking for Q2 of next year, maybe Q3, when basically they say the cars should get better, safer than humans. When that day happens, I think they're going to turn on some ride-sharing in California and definitely in Texas.
Yeah, we got a little bit more information about California versus Texas. California, there's far more regulatory restrictions. Texas sounds like it's a done deal.
And Elon said he wishes that the federal government would just pass a law making the whole country, autonomous able. I don't think that'll ever happen. But Elon said when he becomes, the head of the efficiency department, that maybe he would be able to do something like that.
So yeah, this to me,
it's a different earnings call.
It's a different earnings call from the 1010 event. We get to see that is the future that Tesla is imagining. They don't want to sell you a car anymore. And I want to bring it back to this Say question. This was Say question number 3.
So again, guys, just listen to what he said there and process that in your head. They don't want to sell you a car anymore. And Jesse's going to break down, other Jesse is going to break down why that is so impactful. Listen to what he has to say.
3, which I think that honestly Elon did a terrible job of answering, and so did everybody else on the team. The third question, these are voted, so this is the third question that all
they're going to talk about the service part, and they'll get to it. You'll understand it. Just listen.
Tesla shareholders want to know.
Yeah, 2,500 votes, 1.2 million shares wanted this question answered.
What is Tesla doing to alleviate long waiting times on service centers? And they acted like there was no problem whatsoever. They said, we just want to focus to make sure that the cars never break, which is a foolish
There's
thing
a
to say, in
reason
my
for
opinion,
that.
because the cars are going to go out on the road and people are going to beat them up.
But what I understood from the answer to this was they're ahead of us on this. They don't care about us because they aren't going to sell cars to us.
To be clear, yes, they did talk about how they have a service factory and how it's making it to where they can batch and do this better, and they can be more efficient, and they can turn it into a revenue center, whereas before they weren't even trying to. Okay, the channel is called Now You Know, and they're brilliant. I love these guys. It's a father-son combo. They're the OGs. Okay, but listen to what they have to say. This is very thoughtful, and I haven't heard anybody in the Tesla community talking like this.
Pretty soon. We've said this for years. We've said eventually Tesla will stop selling cars to us and they will be a network. So they will be incentivized to solve these problems. Right now, as long as you're happy enough that you'll buy their car, they're not going to get much better. That's what I read from this answer.
Because right now, if you have a service problem, yes, it can take weeks for you to actually
Thanks
get
for
your
joining,
car in
William.
for service. And they can talk all about how it's great and they can solve all sorts of problems remotely.
Well,
or
Elon even
with
gave it
software.
away. He said they want big service centers. Why would you want that? Because normally a big service center means it's hundreds of miles from you. You like to go down the street and get your car fixed. Tesla wants big service centers because they won't worry about you anymore because no one will own the car but them. We owners are just means to that end. And I know that might make you angry, but that's, I think, the whole plan here is, hey, we can't afford to do this from day one. You're going to.
I think it'll be a hybrid. I think most cars that get generated, especially the cyber vans, the cyber cab, they'll all be Tesla owned eventually, and you won't be able to buy those, and it will all be a part of their fleet. But I do think they'll have high-end models like the Cybertruck, the S and the X, where people can still drive. And then I also think that their autonomous flying vehicles, like the stuff Archer was trying to do, but Tesla's just going to crush because, again, they've got avionics like crazy, right? And they've got the first real-world AI autonomous fleet that's getting developed. They will create flying personalized vehicles that can follow along roadways, probably not over houses because you don't want to have risk with that. But they'll have vehicles, there'll be second lanes. Think about this. There'll be boring tunnels that people will drive cyber cabs through, and maybe the vans where those will be automated and running underneath the ground. There'll be the streets above the ground where people are having autonomous vehicles driving themselves. And then in the air, there'll be 3 layers, in my opinion, of traffic in the future. And even cities like LA will have no traffic issues whatsoever, ever again. And then you're going to get rid of all these parking lots. You're going to have way more green spaces. You're going to have more parks. You're going to have more lakes. You're going to have more rivers. You're going to have, every city is going to look a lot more beautiful than it does right now. Envision that future. Envision that future where cities are safer and there's more walking spaces and it's just more beautiful because you don't need as many roads on the main layer because you'll have stuff flying and you'll have stuff underground. Think about that.
We're going to have to buy our cars.
And this is why Tesla's service was pretty good in the beginning and then actually was amazing in the beginning and then it kind of petered off. It's because, yeah, if you kind of know that these customers you're not going to have to worry about very soon, it changes the whole idea of it. And that's why Tesla has always been kind of disincentivized of getting great service. They've only been incentivized to give affordable service for Tesla because quality service normally is like, oh, they give me quality service, I'm going to go buy that car again. Tesla has a monopoly on selling Teslas, right? So if you wanted to go, oh, I'm going to go buy something else, let me see, I could get a Mach-E, you're not going to go do that. Most people don't. And so they can be as unhappy as they want at a service center, they're still going to buy a Tesla.
Question number 5 is, when will Tesla...
It's not about Tesla owning everything. It just behooves them to have a ton of it be service-based. So it's the same people. So Joanne said, I don't agree with Tesla wanting to own everything. That goes against Elon wanting to ensure that our cars can be used for the taxi service. No, he'll have all that. There'll be a bunch of it. It'll be a combination of both. But you have to realize it'll be like back in the day. Let's talk about videos, right? I remember in music. Let's talk about music. Let's go back even further. I remember cassette tapes and CDs, and I remember literally saying this all the time. There's no way I would pay a monthly service for some music when I can own it and have it right in front of me physically. And then that wasn't true. And then I did that same thing with DVDs. Dude, there's no way. Look at these cheap deals at Blockbuster and Hollywood Video. They've got these things for so cheap. I'm going to buy a bunch of these. They're only like $3 or $4, dude. These are some good movies. I'll watch them again later. I never watched them again. And I never thought I'd sign up for a monthly service. I wanted to physically own them because I thought that was the right thing. Well, that same thing is going to apply. It applies to a bunch of other things. These are just 2 examples. But it's going to apply to cars too. Most people will not care about owning a car when they can spend a third or probably a fourth of what they are right now to be able to get everywhere they want to go the moment they want to do it. So it just won't matter to them. And they won't care that Tesla runs the fleet. Other people will still want to own their own vehicles, and that will be that way for a very long time. I don't know if we'll ever give up ownership. It depends on the country. It depends on a lot of things. Maybe that's in the future. Maybe giving up ownership of the vehicles for the most part is in the future. Or if you own them, they will still be driven and you won't have a say in driving them because it's one less chaotic variable that you have to worry in the transportation network. And it helps keep the entire fleet safer when you don't have this chaotic variable within it. And they can all speak to each other like bees. So I think that we're looking at a future that's going to be very, very different than what it is today. And I totally get your gut reaction on it. I do. But I do think it's going to be a lot different than people realize.
Tesla incorporate X and Grok in all of the Tesla vehicles. And, you know, I was thinking about this. They have no incentive to do that yet either, because when you're in the car driving, you can't use these things very much.
Right.
He wants to give you this the day he gives you Cybercab, because then you'll have even more incentive to just go have fun in a Cybercab, because X and Grok are fun to do and not while you're driving.
And so he called these things relatively small fry things. And I mean, I do agree with him.
Yeah, so Jesse had to come back around. He's like, I don't like the fact that they're saying that waiting 2 weeks for service isn't, is acceptable. But it's like, in the end, though, it really is. It doesn't matter. And MB, you're right. Giving up ownership of a vehicle, it basically, it's not going to be a fast process, right? It's going to be a very slow process. And I don't even know that it'll completely end. There's going to be wealthier people that are willing to pay extra to just know that the vehicle is theirs and not take some taxi type service, right? So at least here in the States, I don't see it ever, the ownership aspect ever really disappearing, but I also can't completely predict the future. I need to get further out into it before I can hit it with a high degree of accuracy. And I'm just not there yet. There's so many things that can happen in the next 20 or 30 years. But I do believe that Tesla's margins will explode. They'll explode higher. Hey, if you guys can hit the likes and do the post stuff on X and on YouTube, whatever, all those things, the reposting, the commenting thing, all that stuff's helpful.
It does bug me because I want to have all these fun stuff in my car, but pretty soon it's not going to be my car. But I'm going to be spending way more time messing around on the screen in the robo car.
And so I guess I agree with you, Jess. I mean, we could spend a lot of time on charts and stuff like that, but it doesn't matter anymore. Tesla's doing great. They have plenty of cash. It really doesn't matter what they earned on selling Model 3s or how many fewer or more they sold. They had a great quarter, but what matters is the future. And if you see that, as you do on our investor club, I mean, if you head on over to patreon.com to support us, we have an investor club there where we talk about these big things every week. And if you get it, you see that Tesla is heading big, big places.
Because any other car company on earth would be like,
I don't know a lot about their investment club. I know they did invest in other stuff that didn't pan out very well. So I don't know if that's a good idea or not, but these guys are brilliant and have a really good vision of the future. And so at the very least, I think supporting them and subscribing and hitting the likes and commenting is definitely worth it.
like, we need more models. We need to have so that way this kind of
Thanks
person
for
can
joining,
get their
Dylan.
kind of special little car. Tesla doesn't need to do that. What they're going to do is, and so nobody can understand. It's a car. Oh, I'm a car analyst, and the Cybertruck doesn't make any sense to me, and neither does the robotaxi. Is going to eat everybody's lunch as soon as because it's not affordable for me to take an Uber every day, right? What happens when?
Yeah, to be clear, 90% of automakers are going to fail in the next 5 to 10 years. Did you hear that? I didn't freeze the video. I just wanted to pause for dramatic effect. I think 90 to 95% of automakers will fail in the next 5 to 10 years. Wrap your head around that.
When it is, what happens when that's cheaper than you owning a car? And it's way more convenient because you don't have to worry about parking. Isn't it really fun when your friend drops you off at the airport? Doesn't it suck when you have to go park and then you come back home and it's $300 in parking fees? You go, oh, I wish my friend had driven me to the airport. That's what this will be all the time. That is what we have to get through our thick skulls because this has not happened yet. Yes. Before the wheel was invented, we didn't use the wheel. Before electricity was invented, we didn't use electricity. And nobody went, hey, gee, why is no one using electricity? Hey, you know, I've noticed that round things tend to roll. Why aren't we using this for transporting things? Nobody came up with it until somebody did. Tesla is the company that is going to invent robotaxi cars. And nobody is going to get it until they are sitting in one.
Right, which I think is why the 1010 event was so big. So many people's brains kind of went, oh.
And it's time to start thinking about it, folks. We're going to be talking a lot more about this on Disruptive Investing, and especially over on Patreon and our Investor Club. So we hope to see you there. See you guys next time. Now you know.
Anyway, I love those guys. They're really, really good people. And I would definitely encourage you to check out their channel and spend some time on it. So Render's always pushing his render in chat, but he's 100% right. Bitcoin is getting ready to explode. It's getting ready to explode. And I don't know if people are ready for that. But that's one of the next hammers to drop. And then we have, you subscribe to him? Oh, thanks, Pietro. I think it's worth it, man. But yeah, so look at this, guys. We've done even better. We're at 68,140 now. We're perfectly above all this. We're ready to launch. We did the back test. We did the major back test. It's time to fly. Now, why do I think we're going to fly even more? There's other reasons for that, and one of them is the election. I think Trump is guaranteed to win. I know that sounds insane. I know we're worried about cheating. I know all that stuff is true, right? I mean, people that are rational are worried about cheating. People that want Kamala Harris to win, they're not rational, so They don't think she's going to cheat. Why would they? Why would Democrats ever cheat? They never cheat. They never do anything wrong, right? And that's your political affiliation, so you got to stick with it. But here's what I want you to see. All of the latest polls have real Donald Trump destroying Kamala Harris in the popular vote. She's down almost 8 points from where Joe Biden was last election, 7.9 right now. Okay, she's barely even showing positive on Real Clear polling. And look at all the recent votes or polls. Rasmussen reports definitely leans right. Huge polling size though. Huge polling size. Trump up 3. Forbes, Harris X. This is usually more liberal. +2. CNBC, these are registered voters, not likely. I don't like these polls as much, but this usually, CNBC has drifted liberal. So this is normally blue. Trump up by two. Wall Street Journal was leaning towards Harris and has been for a while now. Trump up by 3. Registered vote. I don't like these registered votes. I like LV better. But these are all the latest polls, and they're all saying Trump is winning. And the CNN interview with Harris was a disaster. So many disasters. She's basically, they're so desperate now. There's a concerted psyop to just push this narrative about Trump being Hitler, and it's not going to work. So Trump is going to win this election legitimately, and I don't even know if it's possible for them to steal it. So I would just say this: encourage everybody to vote. Encourage everybody to vote because it's going to get better. I don't know why everything is highlighted right here. Let me refresh and see if I can get rid of it. There we go. But encourage people to vote, guys, because we need to. And I do think that this is going to be dramatic in the days ahead, what we're seeing happen. And then let's look at some other stuff, too. I only listen to Jesse on YouTube about the market now. No one else. That's sweet. Thanks, CJ. I dig that, man. Thank you. That's high praise. All right, so let's look at a couple things. I want to look at the bond market super fast. I'm almost done, guys. I think I'm done. So if you guys have some stocks you want me to look at, throw them out there. You're going to make a lot of money off of everything. Everything I own is going to make tons of money. So, I mean, not everything, but 90% of it. So if you guys like, oh, and I don't have my portfolio here. Let me dial it back. I'll go into here and show you. Let me refresh. So I got to put that back. I just wanted to, again, I had to get my clout today, just showing how crazy the portfolio's been. But, where is this? Oh, here we go. Portfolio. Okay. So, yeah, right here. Okay. Tesla's a much bigger piece now. It's grown. But Hood's going to do great. Mara's going to do great. MicroStrategy is going to do great. BITX is going to do great. MSTU and MSTX are going to do great. I think Micron and Argentina are going to do really great in the future. We're looking at banks. If you guys have any other Argentinian plays that you want, please throw them out there. I definitely want to hear them. We've got a bank one that we're going to be looking at closer. I might even look at some options plays in regard to that. ARKG, I think, is going to make a ton of money. My shitcoins are going to make a ton of money. PayPal's going to make a ton of money. CleanSpark's going to make a ton of money. There's going to be a ton of money made. Micron's not even in here, but that's coming. So if you like making money, I don't know. Maybe think about that. All right, let me hop up here. We'll start looking at stocks. Let me see. No guarantees in life, but I hope you're right. I'm right a lot. That's one guarantee, Omid. I'm right a lot. Render OG, market is going to go crazy in 2025 when Trump wins the presidency. Market about to go berserk. I agree. MB, I've seen data on expected S&P move upon election, and it is on the low single digits now, which means no one believes that Kamala Harris wins. I agree. OMR 5722, thank you for the $50. You guys are amazing. Been following you for almost a year and have made $350,000. Bro, that kicks ass. I'm very happy for you, man. Again, we're going to have to start looking at meetups in 2025, guys. I want to see some starships fly. We'll figure out some numbers on who all wants to go and can go. We'll try and figure out, too, where all of you guys are. And I would like to maybe even once or twice a year be able to connect with you guys in different regions of the world. So we're going to have some fun. We're going to try and have some get-togethers in different areas and do some cool shit. And I'll try and make as much of that on me as possible, like, drinks or maybe some of the accommodations. We're going to have some fun. We're going to celebrate. But it should be a good time. First one, though, I think it's got to be watching a Starship launch. I love space too much not to see that at least once in my life. All right. Do I listen to Dan Bongino? Trust that even when he wins, the Dems aren't just going to swear him in. I think shit is going to hit the fan, and the 2020 Summer of Love will be child's play. It's going to be interesting, but I would not assume the worst. I think that we have a pretty good separation of powers between the congressional, the judicial, and the executive branch. And I don't see the military being as woke as Kamala Harris would like it to be. So I'm not actually super worried. I know that sounds crazy. I'm just not. I've thought about it very deeply. All right, so the bond market is still sitting kind of in its pressure, its volatility range, but that's going to start coming down. The 2-year is this line. Why the fuck? I've even taken it out, and it just magically appears back. Anyway, it was down 0.07%, so I think we're getting toppy on here. I want to show you guys the 10-year too. This 2-year chart, I got to like rebuild it. It just never will change. It just wants to keep the lines right where it had them. The 10-year down 0.85%. What did I tell you guys the other day? Can anybody tell me what I said? Can you guys tell me what I said about the monthly chart here? That maybe it was going to top out at the 200 moving average in orange, and it would start to pull down underneath of it, and that would be the top. And then it will come down, right? Pretty sure that's what's happening. Silas says military top brass are still older. I think, here's what I think. I think the military, the very top brass are all political figures, but I think the people underneath of them, given the right circumstances, would rise up and do what is right. I truly believe that. And I don't think that's just hope. I think that's based on a lot of research. All right, let's get to stocks here. So again, bond market looking beautiful. Everything is ready to launch. Everything is ready to launch. Everything. And I mean everything is ready to launch. Let's look at the portfolio real quick on my watch list and see how we're doing. So again, Tesla up almost 22% on the day. I made at least $650,000. That is twice my daily record. Twice. MSTU up 21.41%. Cypher up 8.45. Iron up 6. You haven't even seen what these miners can do. You don't even know. You don't even know. It's all beautiful, man. Baba not doing so good. Remember how everybody told you to buy China? Don't listen to those fucking people. Yeah, it's all going to launch. All right, let's look at your stuff. Again, if you guys like what you're hearing, if you find value in this, the tips, the memberships, that's all amazing. But again, just a simple even like and share and comment. Comments are huge on videos, whether they're on X or whether they're on YouTube. It doesn't really matter. They're all great. All right, let's get to it. And I don't really know who Dan Bongino is. I mean, the name sounds familiar, but I can't place him. All right, let's look at the next one here. We got LRCX plus plus triple bottom play. Okay, I think we looked at that one. Sounds familiar. Let me see over here. Was it LRCX? I feel like I did this before. I was like all dyslexic about it. Lamb Research. Yeah, we did look at it. I'm almost 99% sure. So let's just jump to the estimates then, because I think I remember the like in this one. So outside of an anomaly, we're seeing growth. It all looks good. We don't see a lot of insider selling. If anything, we saw a lot of buying in 2019 and more buying than selling in 2022 and 2023 and 2024. Institutional ownership's going down. I don't know why. I don't love that. Short interest jumped to 0.25%. Not a lot. So I don't know that you can make too much out of that. Stock-based comp is almost 2%. Not a horrible number. Free cash flow. I love free cash flow. Sitting at a really healthy $1.568 billion off of revenue that was 4.167. That's actually a pretty good number. I love that their R&D, their research and development, is such a low percentage of their expense, or I should say high percentage of their expenses. It shows that this company is really building their semiconductor play. Shares outstanding cannot be right. There's no way they went down this low, unless we did a stock split. Anyway, cash is growing, debts are going down. It's a 20 PE forward, but the current PE is 7. So we're seeing a little bit of, honestly, I think that's going to get better too. I think that's going to readjust and drop into single digits. It's a pretty low PE ratio for a company that is a chip company. I can't say this is a bad play. I do need to pull this up. We are going to add this, and here I need to share this one too. I need to update. I'm going to get better and start loading all these things after, like even during the live stream, we'll put them in Discord. So LRCX, we already have it here, right? Did I save it? Nope. So I'm going to do this. We're going to copy this link. This is what we have. And yes, this is a beautiful looking triple bottom, up 5% on the day. It is a very juicy looking bottom. The thing I don't love is it's a $100 billion company, but it's a dividend play. And they did do a stock split. That explains the weirdness. Okay, cool. So this is pretty sweet. What is this called? Lamb Research. LRCX. We need to get this one up in here. Let's do this. We're going to add this real quickly. LRCX. Lamb Research. And we'll just get this added. We'll try and do more of this, guys. And then we'll go here, and then we'll post more stuff. So we'll do LRCX chart. And then we'll pin this little bad boy. We'll get this embed out of here. I need to see if I can just have it strip embeds right out of the gate, maybe. That would be cool. So now, guys, this is pinned. And if you guys want to start talking more about this on your own, it's there. So let's do it. I don't hate the play, bro. I don't hate it. Looks like this company's putting a lot of money into research and development. They beat all the time. What is this? How many non-beats? They had one time where they didn't beat in 2022. And then ever since 2017, since they showed earnings on here, they've been beating. Doesn't seem like a horrible play. Not going to lie. I don't know what they do, though. I don't know the fundamentals at all. But just from a financial play and the technicals, I don't hate it. You guys, if you guys can tell me why the fundamentals are great, I would love to hear it too. So you let me know, okay? MMM, Tyler, looks like some of these people are on X. I'll just have to assume. I need to get it to where X, I wish X was better at letting me know who's actually subscribed, because people pay to be able to ask for stock requests on YouTube. Probably shouldn't give it to people on X. I am for now, but that's probably going to change until I can figure out a better method. So, so make sure that in the future, if you want to be able to make stock requests, you're going to have to do it on YouTube, and be at least a starter pack member or something like that. I think I'll do that. I think I'll do that in the future, just because, again, it's so, like, X just sucks sometimes with some of this stuff. They need to make a better interface. They need to have chapters. They need to do all this stuff right. And I can't wait until they do. I'll dump YouTube in a heartbeat, man. All right. GCT is GigaCloud Technology. I'm just going to save it over here. And we'll look at adding this one in a second. I just want to see what the ticker looks like first. Thank you for being willing to join a little bit earlier, guys. I don't know if it helped viewership at all. Honestly, I don't care too much. I'm just going to do it earlier. I'll have chapters in here later, so if you guys don't get to play along, at least you'll be able to quickly get to the stuff you want to look at. GigaCloud Tech, 103% revenue growth year over year. Starting to slow down on growth, but EPS is looking good. EBIT's looking good. They've been doing some selling, though. Keep that in mind. These guys are like, ooh, our stock price looks great. I don't like the short interest. Almost 26%. Institutional ownership is growing. That's all good. We're not seeing really share dilution. Debts are going up a lot, so they must be building out. Oh, is this China? Is this China, bro? If it's China, there's no point of even looking at it. It's China, isn't it? Is this Singapore or is it China? Please tell me. Because I'm not going to save this. If it's China, I'm not going to save it. You guys shouldn't even bother asking for Chinese stocks. Let me know if it's Singapore or something. If it is, then I'll take a closer look at it. Otherwise, I don't care. 3M. 3M is negative 24% year-over-year revenue growth. It's basically been flat for a decade. Their net income looks broken, unless I'm looking at something wrong. They're buying back all their stock, but who really cares? Why did their operating expenses just explode and then their net income plummeted? Does anybody know? Yeah, I don't look at Chinese stocks because there's no point. Is this China hoodie? Done. Done. Yeah, there's just no point in looking at China. We could be at war and then it just all goes away immediately. You can't even make money off it. You couldn't even hedge with it because it would just literally be dissolved and all your money goes poof. So there's just no point in looking at China. China is not, yeah, just don't. Brian said, if Trump's so good for the economy, why does Wall Street Journal, Moody's, and 32? Oh, man. Why? Here, you know what? I'll tell you why. Why are billionaires the supporters of the Democratic class right now? Why are Democrats outspending Republicans 4-1? Why is the Democratic Party the party of war? Why is the Democratic Party the party of prescription drugs? Why is the Democratic Party the party of censorship? So you've got very wealthy, powerful forces. Then you have the Epstein client list. And you have just a bunch of really weird stuff. I played a video earlier showing how nervous Bill Gates was talking about Jeff Epstein. His wife left him around the time that those coincidences, those, what do we call them, conspiracy theories came out. And she left him right around that time. And then he was getting interviewed, and he looked very uncomfortable talking about Epstein. And he talked about how, well, he's dead, so something to pay attention to. But I'd say there's a lot of really rich, powerful people that maybe, I don't know, why are there 325,000 kids missing from the border? Why do I have videos of literally intelligence agents from the CIA trafficking children that came from the border and shipping them off to different countries? Can you tell me why where they literally left the luggage of these kids because they were getting interviewed by people they didn't want to hear from? Why is that? Why are there 325,000 missing kids and why does nobody care about it? Why, when Trump had 5% of that number, did everybody care, but nobody cares now? I got a lot of questions too. If you can answer some of mine, I'll answer yours. I think I just answered some of yours though, Brian. So I think there's interests that are politically motivated from their own self-interest and maybe even just not to succumb. Have you looked at the stuff that happened with P. Diddy? Have you looked at that? Have you looked at what they did to people? Have you looked at what they probably did to what's his name? What is his name? The guy with the hair swoops over, kid singer. I don't know why it escapes me. But literally, man, there is so much corrupt shit that has happened. And there's a reason they want to censor and shut down Donald Trump. They don't want that. Justin Bieber. Yeah, dude. They probably molested him too. So you got to realize it's disgusting what's coming out right now. And you should do some research. You should spend some time listening to the truth and maybe not mainstream media. Because the mainstream media is dying. And if you want lies fed to you that will confuse you and take away the truth to where you don't understand what is reality, then focus on those guys and listen to what they have to say. Otherwise, you need to spend more time on X, brother. That's what I have to say about that. But anyway, let's get back to stocks. And yeah, Trump is much better. I can give you a million reasons why Trump is better. And if you want to know those reasons, you should listen better because I talk about them all the time. And I shouldn't have to explain them in full length all the time. So you should listen more. All right, let's keep going. 3M. Q2 2024. Massive amount of insider buying. Institutional ownership in decline. Short interest in decline in single digits. Estimates for revenue going down. This is a dying company. I don't really care about this company. I'm not going to pull up the stock. The forward PE is 16. The current one is under 16. The company is dying. It's not worth holding. Maybe it's a dividend play. I don't really care. All right, that's probably where I'm leaving that one. Real quickly, I need to my OLED it does this dimming thing. I need to like figure out how to physically force this thing not to do that. Prithvi, ready. Hey, Jesse, if you don't mind, can you show your portfolio on the browser with the page refresh asking with which portion? This one? This one? I also have, this is my main account over here. So either one. I've got to update my portfolio. It's changed a lot just today with as much as Tesla went up. It looks like in here it says $565,000 in gains in my main account. So I made between $650,000 and $700,000. Yeah, Bloomberg's been saying Tesla's dying for years. I don't know, man. Maybe Michael Bloomberg is a pedophile too. He's definitely an interesting cat. Didn't make for a very good presidential candidate. Didn't poll well. But I can tell you this: the Morning Consult and Bloomberg are horrifically biased historically. Okay, so they're not even worth your time. And that's why, again, I've got to figure out the OpenBB terminal and whether or not that's enough or if I need to pay for a Bloomberg terminal. I'll pay for a Bloomberg terminal if I think it benefits you guys. I might even be able to incorporate AI to be able to have it to where it automatically pulls from the Bloomberg terminal and maybe sends out notifications in regard to all the key stuff I'm tracking. I haven't really... It seems theoretically possible. So we'll see what we can do with that too. Render OG says, if you need something to do in stream, check out the render tab to see where AI is going with AR and VR future. I probably do more of that in the future. I don't think I'll do it today, Render OG. Paul Hoger, breaking. Capri Holdings down 50% after market. Judge blocked buyout. What is Capri? Can you tell me more about that? Sounds painful. Chris Federal, that would be nice. Terminal, that is. Yeah, I just want to, if whatever I can find in the way of tools that will make us all richer, we'll put money into. And you guys contributing to all these memberships helps with all that too. Okay? Or even just, again, sharing. You don't have to pay anything for this either. But we'll do a much better job than me, Kevin. I'll tell you that. All right, what else we got? So GCT started on M&M. Guys, you know what? I think I'll do more of this later. I'm probably I won't look at Baba. I don't look at Chinese stocks. If you're here for Chinese stuff, you should just go somewhere else. You'll never get it from me. I don't have people invest in shit. I will do I do need to do a dedicated ticker live stream. I'm just taking it chilled today, guys. We made a bunch of money today. Any day where I'm anywhere close to $1 million in gains, I'm going to call it a good day. And I want to spend some time with my family. And I want to enjoy it. And I think you guys should too. So, again, I'm just going to say peace out. I'm going to play a video of something. Should it be a Tesla one? I play this a lot, but you know what? It's going to be, because robots are going to take your job. And you know what's going to be different for us, guys? We won't care because we won't have jobs. Love you guys. Peace out. Talk to you later. Bright and early tomorrow. It's going to be a fun one. We're going to work hard tomorrow, guys. Talk to you later.
Optimus, the robotic humanoid under development by Elon Musk's Tesla Inc., is sparking concerns around job security.
This is not financial advice, silly.
Robot just stole my job. I'm there like, oh my god. I blame it on Elon. He's taking all I got. Turned up to work and went to start my day. Was barely late, like 9:08. So took my coffee break. Then I got hungry, so I just stopped by the free buffet. But then to my dismay, I heard somebody say, "Message instrument, you have lost, you have not met your quota. Pack your belongings in a box, now it's over." Robot just stole my job. I'm there like, oh my god. I blame it on Elon. He's taking all I got. But I'm in management. I work hard every day. I need these benefits, health and 401k. How could they do this shit though? Where will I trade my crypto? I had a second monitor for Twitter. Where will it go? Somebody please stop the bus. I mean, not the fuss, but there's lots of us. And now you say you won't pay me to play ping pong because Optimus. I mean, who employs a damn humanoid? Some new droid for you to exploit, deploy to destroy your human droid. No lunch breaks, great, get a few deployed. Your time is up, human inferior to me. I'll take it from here, you're relieved of your duty. Robot just stole my job. I'm there like, oh my god. I blame it on Elon. He's taking all I got. Robot just stole my job. I'm there like, oh my god. I blame it on Elon. He's taking all I got.
It's okay, human, please don't cry. You can always go and become a Twitter thread guy. Make pretty pictures with Midjourney on your new PC. Or make some YouTube videos about ChatGPT. Sucker.
Robot just stole my job. I'm there like, oh my god. I blame it on Elon. He's taking all I got. Robot just stole my job. I'm there like, oh my god. I blame it on Elon. He's taking all I got.
I mean, I didn't even write this song. I just used ChatGPT because it's way easier. Holy shit. We are so doomed.
Robot just stole my job. Robot just stole my job.